Many years ago, sex was something that people would typically have if they wanted children. Nowadays, it is something that a lot of people have if they want to experience pleasure. In the past, then, it was generally seen as having one purpose, and in the present, it is generally seen as having another. Now, while there were people in the past who did have sex for other reasons, there is no denying how different it is today. Separated. If it wasn't for the contraceptive pill, it is highly unlikely that sex would be seen in the same way as it is often seen today. Naturally, this has lowered the risk of a woman getting pregnant, thereby making it possible for her to have sex without needing to worry about what will happen after. Along with this, a man can use a condom to stop his sperm from causing any problems. So, in the same way that someone might have a piece of chocolate to experience pleasure, they can also have sex to achieve the same outcome. It's just sex. Unlike most of their ancestors, this could be the only thing they know. Therefore, if they were to hear about how, in the past, people typically had sex to procreate, they may find it amusing. In their eyes, sex could be seen as something that is there to be enjoyed. Only having it to create a child is not going to make any sense. And, as sex is something that can be extremely enjoyable, why would anyone only want to have it in order to procreate? An easy decision. If someone has this view when it comes to sex, they may have no trouble sleeping with another person on the first date. This could be seen as a way for them to find out if they are sexually compatible. Sex will be such an important part of their life that they won't want to be with someone who doesn't do it for them in the bedroom. In addition to this, they could believe that this will allow them to get to know them better. Nothing to lose. The alternative would be for them to wait a little while, only to find out that they are not sexually compatible. After having been with him for a while, it could be a lot harder for them to move on. One would then have wasted a fair amount of time that they would have saved if they got down to business straight away. It would have also taken him a lot longer to find out about things that they might have found out about in a night. The only option. Taking this into account, someone would be old-fashioned or even a prude if they chose to behave differently. It would be in their best interest to liberate themselves and to just go for it on the first date. This might go against what they currently stand for, but they will soon realize that it is the right thing to do. When this happens, one will no longer be allowing an outdated inner model to run this area of their life. Back to reality. However, although this might seem like the best approach to take, it doesn't mean that this is the case. One of the big problems with having sex more or less straight away is that it can cloud one's judgment. If human beings didn't have an emotional self and only had a mental and the physical self, it wouldn't matter. Their emotions wouldn't be there to affect their judgment, allowing them to think clearly afterwards. Numb. If someone can have sex straight away and not be affected by it, it could simply show that they are emotionally shut down. Having sex with someone straight away is not going to affect them, but as if they are out of touch with their emotions, it is unlikely that they would be able to have a real relationship anyway. This could then explain why someone like this would put such a big emphasis on sex. The other part of their being, their heart, is not going to be open. A lot of their energy will be stuck in their genitals as it won't be able to reach their chest area. Many elements. Sex is undoubtedly an important part of a relationship, yet there are a number of other things that are just as important. It will be vital for one to find out if they actually have anything in common with someone and to find out if their values match up. As there are many parts to their own being, they will need to be with someone who has a being that matches up with these parts. This will be what allows the relationship to last once the early sparks have settled down. The easy option. Getting naked and having sex with someone may seem like a great way to get to know who they really are, but this may be a time when they are still hiding their true self. Ultimately, it is one thing for someone to reveal their body, it is another thing altogether for them to reveal who they actually are. If one thinks that getting naked with someone means that they are getting intimate with them, this is not going to cross their mind. What will also make it harder for them to realize this is if they have come to equate sex with love. Awareness. This is then not about whether or not having sex on a first date is good or bad, it is about looking at the consequences of behaving in this way. Having sex on a first date could lead to a fulfilling relationship. Then again, it could cause one to end up with someone who is not right for them. Their emotions and hormones will be all over the place, making it just about impossible for them to have a balanced outlook. Their thinking will be off and their view of the other person will also be off.